For example, you have a carbon atom, and inside the carbon atom you have thousands nuclei. So the time during which half of the atom will change into atoms of another element, for example nitrogen, that time period is known as half-life, and it is denoted by T half. So half-life means the time during which half of the atoms of a radioactive element decay into atoms of another element. We call that time period is half-life. In general, if we represent n naught, the original amount of the matter element nuclei that were present inside the nucleus, and after time t half from n naught, half of it will divide into atoms of another element and half of it will remains the atom of the original element. So these atoms decayed means change into atoms of another element, and these are undecayed means they didn't change to atoms of another element. So if you would like to plot a graph here, for example time in days and amount of nuclei or number of nuclei n naught. So in the beginning, let's say it has total amount is equal to n naught, then it will become half n naught by 2, then half of it will be n naught over 4, and so on. So if you would like to plot a graph, the curve will be like this. So here the time during which half of the atoms will change into atoms of another element, for example it took 4 days. So this is the first half-life here. This is first half-life. It means 4 days. Yani it will take 4 days to decay half of the atoms of a given element into atoms of another element. For example, this is carbon. I am just giving you an example. So after 4 days, it will split up into half. Any half of the atom will decay into atoms of another element. So for example, for a particular atom, number of total undecayed nuclei 1600. After 4 days, they will, yani 800 will change into atoms of another element and 800 belong to the original element. 4 days. So now after 8 days, the amount will be left n by 4. N by 4 means it will be 400 will be left. And how much time will be passed? 8 days. So after 12 days, it will be 200, yani n naught by 8. So if you would like to plot a graph, it will come here like 12 days. So in this way, it will decrease as it is decreases exponentially. Exponentially means by e power, and it is decreases, so e power negative. Now in order to calculate the amount of the undecayed nuclei, we have to write this equation: n is equal to n naught e power minus lambda 2. Now here n, the total number of nuclei which were present in the beginning, and what is n? N is number of decayed nuclei. So after first half-life, n naught by 2 will decay into atoms of another element, n naught initial amount minus lambda t half, yani it all happen after first half-life. So cancel, and 1 by 2 is equal to e power minus lambda t half, yani first half-life. So 2 power minus 1 and e power minus lambda t half. Apply both sides log. So we have minus 1 log of 2 is equal to minus lambda t half is equal to log of e. This log of e, it will give you equal to 1. Minus cancel by minus, so here you have to write t half is equal to log of 2 over lambda, which is equal to 0.693. Lambda is equal to first half-lives. So this formula you have to remember in order to calculate the first half-life if decay constant is given. So be happy before and after studying physics.